I'm going to give it a second to hop on and let it go for a minute, see if anyone joins in with us. If anyone is here, let me know. Hi, Bridget. Thank you for being here. So, today I want to talk about how crazy the world is and what we can do to make it better on ourselves and a little easier, because we all deserve love and happiness, and we need to make that for ourselves, even when the world is making it hard for us to find. So I'll give it a little more before I really dive in. Okay. All right. So for those of you who are here, a little bit myself is I'm Danielle. I am 26 years old, and I am from the Auburn and Grass Valley area. I work with Auburn Hip Hop Congress and directly with Natalie at the Academy of Law. And I primarily work with the youth and mental health and trying to make the world a better place, which I think a lot of us are trying to do right now. So it's really important to come together and do that together and remind us that we have people alike that want to stay happy even when the world doesn't seem happy. So can anybody let me know if you're here, or does anybody have any questions before we get started? Hi, Charles. So first, I want to talk about what I think is most important for staying grounded is making time for yourself, because that can be so hard, especially I find when the world seems to be difficult and everything is confusing. You find yourself trying to stay distracted and not really tuning in with what's really going on. So making your time for yourself is so important. And, you can do that in so many ways. Does anybody here want to talk about the ways they make time for themselves? All right. So for me personally, we'll talk about me. I like to make sure that I find the time to at least take a walk. And on that walk, I like to think about what do I really need to focus on within myself right now. And I think that that is something that a lot of us have been struggling when I speak with my peers, is that the world is really confusing right now. So how do you know how you're supposed to feel when everything's changing every day? So how do you tune in with your senses when those are constantly changing, because everything around us is constantly changing? So the different strategies I have, like I say, me time is always finding the time to take a walk, or finding the time to relax and reminding yourself that you are really important. So self-care, whatever that may be for you. And that can be anything from reading to art to writing. That is even self-care, because you enjoy that, and doing things that you enjoy is self-care. For me, I think going to school with the kids that I do and in the environment I am, that even for me is self-care, because I feel very lucky, and taking the time to do that is so important, because I realize how much of a difference it makes in my life. And Another thing I found, especially during the pandemic, is that exploring new ideas can be extremely therapeutic and extremely eye-opening. I had no idea how many things I was even into before I got really bored, I think. And I just started trying new things and I was like, wow, this is fun. Wow, I could probably make money doing this. Or wow, I feel a lot better after I do this. Does anybody else have certain activities that they do that they feel help them at ease, that could be considered self-care and making time for yourself? It's hard. All right, I can keep going. Freestyle? What kind of freestyle? All kinds, because it's freestyle. Affirmations. Affirmations are a great way to let out emotions and tune into your senses, like I said before, too. Another thing I found really beneficial. Oh, hi, Mary. Writing poetry. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Things like meditation, stretching. Another thing, actually, that I wanted to share with people that I found really kind of soothing when I felt like I was really missing people and I wasn't able to see my friends and I hadn't seen family, or there was just, I had certain emotions, is I started writing letters of things that maybe I needed to say to somebody that I wasn't ready to, or letters that just saying, I miss you, oh my gosh, and writing memories down of certain things and getting those emotions out. And it's really relieving by walking in nature. I think nature is one of the best medicines there is. It's been very hard with all the pandemic problems, the elections, so it's very hard to get out sometime, but I enjoy hanging out with friends, going to car shows. That's not very many now since COVID-19, but just staying in touch with friends. Thank you, Charles. I can agree that with the pandemic and the elections, this has been extremely stressful. I think we're all kind of can relate in some way, especially when nothing even makes sense, it seems. And I have faith that these car shows are going to come back for you soon, and I hope you get to go with them. And I'm so glad that you're here and staying in touch with us, because that's what's important. This is what keeps us going, keeps us sane, as I said. Nature, like Mary was saying, is I learned today, or not today, this week, about, we were taught how to make paper, and while talking with that art teacher, I got to thinking, or she had explained how many things we are accessible to. And so I tried to expand my mind and think, so even outside of art, how many things are we just so accessible to that can be so helpful for us? And like Mary said, nature, we can find that, and we can, that's can be a natural way to make us feel better. And I feel that everyone can hopefully kind of relate on that. Mama Earth, we have to take care of her because she takes care of us. I'm kind of rambling. Also, like I was talking about exploring new ideas, that also involved turning things that you consider dreams into reality. Like, how can you make this time that we've all been given, how do we how do we take advantage of this? And by exploring new ideas, I found what do I want to do, and how can I make that happen? And how can I do that by using this time that I now have? And lucky for me, I'm at Academy of Law, and so thank you, Mary. So I get to do that, but I was able to kind of create that for myself. I wanted to volunteer, and then I was like, how do I keep this going, and how do I make this happen for myself? And I realized that when you put your mind to it and you have the time and you try and look at it in a positive aspect, you really can make anything happen for yourself. The number one thing I always say, especially to the kids that I work with, is you have to show up for yourself. You always have to show up for yourself. And that can even come back to nature that I keep talking about. Show up for yourself by taking yourself outside and letting yourself feel that stuff. And another important thing is the environment that you're in. So a lot of us are having to work from home. So, that after a while you're like, wow, I really want to get out. So how do you make the space you're in as comfortable as possible and enjoyable? How can you make it more enjoyable? Can you do something new to make it feel fresh? Can you, just add on, or take the time to go through all that stuff that you might not need, and then feel how good it feels to have that clutter gone. Or maybe you find things that you forgot you had that you would so have the time to enjoy now, or you're reminded by things. And I think that's really important. I found that since quarantine, I became a little bit more of a clean freak, because I realized that if my house is clean, I feel good about hanging out in it. But it's not even about being clean. It's about the things I set up. Like, it feels clean because I have like my candles. I always keep my candles going, right? But you have to be safe. You always be safe with candles. I've read a lot on the internet lately about candles exploding and burning. Yes, cleaning can be like meditation sometimes. But yeah, so setting your environment how you want it. So yeah, having it clean how you want, but having the candles or incense or sprays that you want to have, so you feel that you can create the environment that you want wherever. So look at it as a lucky situation, like, wow, I can create this as my happy place, and this can be whatever it wants. And if you're lucky to still be working, then you can look at it as, wow, I get to work every day in my comfort and what feels good and happy, which also comes back to turning your dreams into a reality. Because in a sense, if you dive into that and you really think about what you want to do and how to make it possible, then you can always work in your comfort zone. Does anybody have any questions before I keep just talking on and on? Or does anyone want to let me know if they're here? Do we have anyone new, or is anyone still here with me? I need to drink some water. Hi, Leanne. Thanks for joining. Hello. Okay. So I'll keep going. Another thing is engaging in your senses. And I think I might have already talked about that a little, but to go deeper into it, it's connecting with your mind, body, and soul, like always making sure that you're connected with that. So like I was talking to Natalie earlier, and sometimes your mind can be going and going and going, and you're not really connected to your body. So for instance, sometimes I'm trying to stay busy all day, maybe because I'm stressed and I want to put off my stress by doing things that keep me busy and aren't involved with what's stressing me out. So my mind is going and I'm feeling really productive today. And wow, this is such a good day. I'm getting so much done, but I'm not in tune with my body. And I haven't ate enough today and my body's tired. And so you have to, they all connect. And when your body's tired and your mind's going, your soul's tired too. You're not all together. So I think with the me time and engaging in your senses, making sure that you connect on those levels all together is so important, because that can bring you the sense of grounding when things are all wobbly in the world right now. Another thing that I wanted to bring up today was how to deal with like toxicity, maybe in a work situation, or how things have changed in the world, and maybe how your work is different and you have to work from home now, or in any aspects of things that involve your life, they're making it difficult. So how can you deal with new things that have come on that you're not comfortable with, or you feel could be toxic for you in this new world? And how can you deal with those anxieties and those feelings properly? For me, I have, oh, hi, Charles. Hold on. Yes, just soaking up everything you're saying. Thank you. For me, I think that really, no, like, I think it does come back to creating a comfortable environment. And I think that if you always, again, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. I think that when, like I said, your mind, body, and soul are connected, that you can effectively keep toxicity out and keep yourself balanced. So when you are connected in all those ways, it's easier maybe to express, hey, this is uncomfortable, because it's not just your brain thinking it, but your mind, body, and your soul, they're all together. And they're saying, this isn't okay. So for example, I had, because it sounds like I'm just coming out of nowhere with this, but for example, I had a certain work situation in the past, and I always felt that I was doing so good, and I was doing exactly what I needed to do. I was going to be making a difference, and I was working in the right environment. But then I was really traumatized by certain other things, like the way I wasn't able to do my job effectively due to certain rules, I guess, and regulations, or that I just wasn't able to express what I wanted to do properly. And so how do you address that? And I think that I had to come in tune and realize, well, if I'm not taking care of my mental health because this job is affecting me negatively, then how can I help others? Because I can't be an effective worker if I myself am not in alignment. When you are in alignment, it's easier to see what does not serve you anymore. Exactly. And it's very easy, though. Like I said, for me, I find it's very easy to not realize those things right away. So, or not even right away for a while for me. You can think because your mind is going and you're doing so many things that you're doing the right thing. But then when you take that me time and you find a way to make your space comfortable and really tune in and align yourself, then you can realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I can turn some of my dreams into a reality and I can make a difference and still take care of myself. And yes, exactly. And the work situations in 2020 have taken a whole new level on how toxic they are. You know, people are in unsafe work environments. They're not being treated right during a pandemic. And then you have people that are having to do extremely hard jobs from home and they're not being done effectively. And you have toxic work environments because everybody is under stress all the time. And it feels like no one's happy sometimes. You know, some days that, you know, I feel that everybody kind of feels that. And that does make for easy toxic situations, especially in a work environment, too, when you don't always know people in a work environment on a personal, close level. So you don't know what they're really feeling. But if everybody is, in a sense, kind of grumpy about the world because we're all confused, it doesn't feel grounded. Does anybody have any questions? I have a question if no one does. I want to know if anybody has any tips for or strategies for what they do during toxic situations and how you can productively for yourself remove that from your life. Thank you, Rocky. Yes. What are some ways you handle toxic situations in your work or life? For me, it takes writing it out. Like, I think I can think things in my mind all the time, but once I finally write it out and I see it for myself, and whether that be in poetry, song, or maybe in some form of art, I need to see it physically for me to understand it. You know, I need to feel it coming out of my body almost in a sense of a way for me to say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Look at it with a problem-solving heart. Definitely. Make an exit plan. Definitely on that too. And writing that down. Writing down what it is that you want. What is your end goal in the situation that you're in? What do you know is going to make you feel comfortable again? And you write that out and then you see it for yourself and you're like, okay. And then as we stated, make an exit plan and do it for yourself. Another important thing, I think, during this time, everybody words it different, but pray, however, you know, whether you be religious or spiritual or whatever it be, It doesn't have to be prayer. For me, I'm not real necessarily religious, but I find myself to be a very spiritual person, and you take that time to pray to yourself or the people that you love. Tune into that and speak to that, because right now, especially, I feel like those things are so easily lost. We're losing a sense of compassion and love for each other now more than I think we've all ever felt. And finding that time to really praise what you love and what you feel and the people you care about is really, really important right now. Does anybody have anything they would like to tune in on or talk about? Oh, what did I do? Okay, so I don't know, something just popped up. I wanted to ask everybody if they had explored any new ideas since this pandemic, and what are they? And we should share them with each other because they could be cool. And we could all try different things. I know for me, I've started making fairy gardens, and I started learning how to wire wrap. And I've really enjoyed that. And those are two things, I definitely didn't do before the pandemic, I'll admit. So yeah, I want to hear if you guys have any new things, projects, or any new things you've done to keep life feeling good. Lots of crafting and business ideas. We're also getting a new compassion for others. And that is so true, and such a positive way to look at it, because I've also never in my life felt closer to some people and felt more loved and seen more love given than I have in this past year. Painting and herb whenever I'm not working. Jewelry making. We love jewelry making. And we see you, Jason. I want to go back a little because I forgot to talk about something that I realized was really important today when I was reminded. I do a lot of things like I said, I love candles and sprays and essential oils and things to really make me feel better. But if I'm just putting on my essential oil, but I'm not in the right mindset or anything, then it's not effective. So it really boils down to, it all starts with you. And I want to show you guys this because it's so pretty. Can you guys see it? Oh, my lighting's kind of bad, so you can't see it, but it's so pretty. This one's lavender. This one is good. I like to use this one before bed when I'm calming down and I'm trying to get my mind at ease to go to sleep. But I don't think personally any of those things are as beneficial if you're not in tune with yourself. You know? Does anyone have any questions? Or should I ask another question because I have more questions? Okay. I want to know about appreciate Danielle's support when we take time to slow down, however we need to, especially now. Thank you. And yes, most importantly, you need to be in tune to put the right intention. Exactly. And yeah, that you worded that perfectly. You need to be in tune to set the right intention. So, that's worded perfectly. You need to be in tune with yourself and the intention that you want for anything to work. Same with work and other things in life. I did want to ask people about if they have done anything creative with their living environments since the pandemic, and if they had found any new ways to make their living space more comfortable or something cool like that, because I love hearing what other people have done. McKenna cleaned her room. Thanks, Rock. I know I moved around my back room probably, I don't even know how many times. My closet, I rearranged my closet so many times, which really didn't make a huge difference to my living environment, but even simple little things like that. Trying to make space for craft supplies. And when you make make space for the stuff that you're excited about, it gets you more excited about it. It's a nice reminder like, oh my gosh, my crafts are there and now I can do them because I made the space for them. I've made everything comfortable and attempted to declutter. I think decluttering is one of the best feelings in the world, or most accomplishing feelings, at least for me, because I tend to clutter, or what some would say, hoard unnecessary items. Like little craft things. Hi, Steph. I love you too. Have you done anything in 2020 to alter your living environment or to tune in with the world and feel better?
Are you taking the questions?
Oh, I love you. And I'm going to see you soon.
Hello, people.
Lost 130 if you know what I mean. It's funny because I really, really do know what you mean. And me too. Thinking maybe more like 120 though. So before I wrap class up and stuff, I want to say thank you guys for being here with me. I was really, really nervous, but I feel really good because I did it, and I feel better because I showed up for myself and for you guys, and you guys showed up too, and that makes me feel so good. And I, again, just want to remind everyone to tune into yourself and love yourself and find that time, mind, body, and soul. And don't settle for less in your life. When the world is so, like we stated, ungrounded, it's more important now than ever to really ground yourself and tell the people you love that you love them. And I love you guys. So thank you. And I hope to talk to all you guys again soon. And have a good night. I also have been losing my voice. So thank you, everybody. Do I end it, Rock?
Leave studio.